South Africa could have a scarcity of maize because of a diesel shortage. Local fuel producers say there's been a sharp increase in demand over months of lockdown, and they claim it caught them by surprise. Well, joining us now, John Purchase, who's the Chief Executive Officer of the Agricultural Business Chamber. Mr. Purchase, good afternoon to you. Industry saying the lockdown caught them by surprise, the spike in demand. You're sceptical about this, though.
Yes, Jeremy, good afternoon, firstly, and thank you for the opportunity. Yes, we've engaged with SAPIA, the South African Petroleum Industry Association, now on 3 occasions, and the various reasons that are provided for the scarcity, anything from the pipeline being vandalized and theft from the pipeline to the ships that can't offload the fuel that's on them and be piped up into the interior, and congestion in Durban Harbour, and various other reasons as well, and especially the refineries that all closed at one stage during the lockdown, apparently because it just wasn't feasible them from an economic point of view to refine crude oil at that stage. Now that clearly led to insufficient stocks being built up or maintained in the process. Everybody knows this is peak season for agriculture in terms of harvesting maize, and we have a record crop on the lands. And secondly, it's also a peak time for fruit export. So you have to truck your fruit to the harbours and the ports, etc., and all using diesel. So we really have a problem. We have a problem getting maize harvested, delivered to the silos, from the silos to the mills, and from the mills to the shops, to the retail sector. So much so that there are certain places that are now running short of a white maize meal, which is a staple food.
And Mr. Purchase, the upshot of this is what?
Well, the upshot is economic losses and not having food available. So there's a food security risk in the process. Farmers are also losing grade because they can't harvest their maize when it's ready to be harvested. So it's an economic loss for the farmers in the process, but not just for the farmers, for the mills, for the silo owners, for the exporters, etc. I just cannot believe that the planning was done in such a way that the department allowed all the refineries to close all at once. We just don't get it, and I think there should be some sort of inquiry by the Department of Minerals and Mineral Resources and Energy, just understand what happened.
Now, Mr. Purchase, you say that the shortages are getting worse, and you say that this is happening, as you've just told me, as the maize harvest season begins. I'm looking at a statement from the South African Petroleum Industry Association. They say the availability of diesel is now improving.
Yes, they said so to us too in our meeting on Wednesday afternoon. We're not really seeing it because we are still being rationed, or the distributors, diesel distributors, are still being rationed to roughly 20% of their normal requirements. Now that keeps things going a little bit, but a lot of operations have come to a standstill. So we expect that only after next week that it will improve. We must also remember that there's a huge price increase on the 1st of July, or the next Wednesday, and there's also rumours that some big distributors are holding back on their stock so that they can utilise the rand per litre or extra price increase that they get on that stock then, because obviously it's more profitable for them.
All right, John Purchase, we're going to leave it there. Time, unfortunately, is against us. It is a worrying situation. We'll circle back to that story early next week.